Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging in Silicon Valley to build the future of AI for some of the world's biggest industries. And get this, he's doing it by trying to make our laptops obsolete.
Yeah, let's just jump right in. That quote right there, that is the incredibly bold vision of Philipp Wehn, the founder at the center of this whole story. And you gotta understand, this isn't just about launching some new app. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we as humans work with machines.
So, to really get what he's aiming for, we're going to follow his journey all the way from a small village in Bavaria to the absolute heart of the tech world. We'll unpack the tech he's building, get into the real story of fundraising, and then figure out what all this means for the future of business, not just in Germany, but everywhere.
Look, Wehn's ultimate goal here isn't just about automation for automation's sake. No, it's about completely changing how we interact with technology. It's about freeing all of us from those manual, repetitive, mind-numbing tasks that literally keep us chained to our screens all day.
What's driving him? Well, he sees this colossal waste of human potential. I mean, think about it. Right now, you have some of the smartest people in the world in really important industries like railways, construction, and energy spending their entire week on what he calls dumb work. He thinks their brain power should be solving future problems, not just doing tedious data entry.
So who is this guy with such a huge goal? Well, his journey wasn't just some happy accident. It was a mission, one that he was on for over a decade. Philipp Wehn's path was this deliberate, long-term plan. It all started 15 years ago in a tiny German village, sparked by a book that made Silicon Valley sound like something out of science fiction. And every single career move he made after that, from SAP to strategy consulting to his big move with Siemens, it was all designed to get him right here to this exact moment.
Okay, so let's get into the core of his company, Nexa AI, and see how the technology actually works. He's not building this for flashy tech startups. No, he's focused on solving problems for the huge industrial giants, the ones that often get left behind in big tech revolutions.
So here's the problem he's tackling. There are billions of dollars just locked away inside these old clunky software systems that don't talk to each other. These programs were built for humans to click around in, not for modern automation because they just don't have the data interfaces, the APIs, that all the new tools need.
So what's Nexa AI's solution? It's a brand new type of AI called a computer-using agent. And honestly, the best way to think about it is as an AI that can see. It doesn't need a special backdoor or a piece of code to connect. It literally just looks at the screen, understands what's there, and then uses the program just like a person would.
And it's actually pretty simple. It works in 3 steps. First, the agent sees the screen. Then, using computer vision, it understands what all the buttons, menus, and fields are for. And finally, it acts. It clicks and types to get the job done. This whole process just completely sidesteps the need for any modern APIs. It's brilliant.
And the result of all this deep specialization? A success rate of over 90%. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is a massive, massive leap. Most generic browser agents, they really struggle to get above 40%, even on pretty simple stuff.
Now, tech this powerful, it's going to get noticed, and it attracted one of the most famous investors on the planet, Andreessen Horowitz. But the story of how they actually got that funding, it pretty much shatters a huge myth about Silicon Valley.
So Nexa AI raised a massive $4.4 million pre-seed round. That's one of the largest of its kind. And a lot of people just assume, with the current AI gold rush, all you need is a good idea and a nice pitch deck to get that kind of cash.
But Wehn is crystal clear. That idea is a complete fantasy. The reality, he says, is the exact opposite. While yeah, the most money is here, so is the most intense, fiercest competition you can find anywhere on Earth.
So what was the key? How'd they do it? It came down to one word: traction. They didn't get funded on an idea. They got funded because they already had customers. We're talking Fortune 500 companies, and they had over $100,000 in signed contracts. They proved the demand was real before they even asked for a dime.
This whole journey, going from a German industrial background to a Silicon Valley startup, it also brought a profound cultural difference into focus. And it's a difference that Wehn thinks might be the biggest hurdle for German innovation.
And he boils it all down to this one fundamental thing: the mindset. He says in Germany, the default reaction to a new idea is basically skepticism. People immediately start looking for all the reasons it's going to fail. But in Silicon Valley, the default is possibility. People try to figure out how to make it work and then how to make it huge.
And this isn't just some abstract theory, okay? He gives this amazing real-world example.
When he presented his revenue goals to an advisor, he wasn't congratulated. He was told to triple them. That's the culture right there, in action. A relentless push to think way, way bigger.
Okay, so what does all of this add up to? Especially for those big German industrial companies that Nexa AI is designed to help. Well, Wehn believes his tech offers them a pretty unique opportunity.
He calls it a cheat code. The idea is for all those companies that kind of missed out on the digital transformation, that fell behind on modernizing their software, now they have a chance to leapfrog an entire generation of technology. Instead of spending millions trying to catch up, they can just put this intelligent AI layer right on top of the systems they already have.
And his advice for other German founders is super direct. It basically comes down to this. If you want to build a solid, profitable lifestyle business, Germany is a great place to do it. But if your goal is to build a global billion-dollar company and do it at hyperspeed, there is simply no better place on earth than Silicon Valley.
And that really leaves us with one final big question. Wern's journey and his technology clearly show a potential path forward for Germany's industrial powerhouses to really thrive in the age of AI. The technology itself is the cheat code, but the bigger question is whether the culture can adapt its mindset to actually use it.